Right, so hey guys, and welcome to Lockheed Martin Prepare 3D. So, back in the new PMDG NGXu, flying with Ryanair colours, and in a premiere. So, for those who missed out on this morning's stream or don't usually tune into my channel, basically, whenever I fly in the real world, what I try and do is I try and run a premiere on Twitch and YouTube. Although, speaking of which, this will be the last time that the premiere will be on Twitch by the looks of things, because they actually discontinued the service tomorrow. So, yeah, flying in the 737, flying in Ryanair, and this morning we flew into Milan for a quick family day trip. So I'm with family, we're out in Italy, and we're now heading back home, ready for work in the morning. So, yes, flying Ryanair, and if you were to search my flight number FR8737 into Flight Radar 24, then you'd also be able to track the flight from there. Also, links to that in the description. So, we're in Milan, like I say. We're in, not Linate, we're in Malpensa. And we'll be setting the aircraft up ready to fly to the UK in a couple of minutes. Departure should be in about 20 minutes or so. Slight drizzle. It is wet and rainy in Milan at the moment. You can tell by the Rainmaker window effects, which are certainly looking really cool. Actually set the wipers to park modes, so intermittence for the sake of keeping the windows dry. There we go. So yeah, the aircraft will have a few flights today. This is like in turnaround mode. And so set everything up for the return flight back to the UK. So first things first, I should pop up the FMS. Go to position initialization. I mean, they already know that where we are because it would have done a few flights today. We're in Lima India Mike Charlie on Stansted Delta 13, which means it's Delta 12. Not in database, that's fine. Right, plugging our route, so Milan to Echo Golf Sierra Sierra Stansted. Currently we're doing manually. Flight number is FR8737. And runway in use, if we quickly get a weather check from that sim. Winds are 7 knots heading 230. Let's grab the airport map up. Set that so it's not showing north. There we go. Alright, so we've got 17s or 35s. The current wind heading 23. 17 make more sense. 17 left is a G4 landing, so well, hang on. Going that way. We'll 17 left departure today. So I'll plug that in and head to next page. Routes. So not too many waypoints today. Starting off with our start. Then it's Uniform Mike 729. And that goes to Molus. Then it's Uniform Tango 423 to Charlie Lima Mike, which is already on the end of the English channel there. Uniform Mike 733. And then finally Banva. Activate that, executes. That looks good. And then we'll do this once we've set the aircraft up with passengers and fuel. So, pull up the FMS again. We'll head to FS Actions, Ground Services. What we're going to do is now set the fuel up. So, for request, we need 7,100 kilos of fuel on board. Put that in, fuel truck request. And then as soon as that arrives, we can then start the fueling. Go look at passengers. It's 168 people on board today our flight, according to Virtual Ryanair via WAR. So we'll load that up. And let's double check. So stairs are all here. That's all fine. Passengers, we should be able to start boarding now, actually. Stairs are down. Max entry stairs. Alright, okay, that's fine. We'll set it as jetway, but in reality both sets of stairs are here. At least the rear stairs are here, and then the front stairs are sets to aircraft air stairs. which means just for the purpose of this we can now start boarding. And then if I open up the other passenger add-on we do enjoy, which is PAX, there it is. We shall... It's already on the flight, okay. We'll start a flight anyway. Departure is Lima India Mike Charlie. Arrival Echo Golf Sierra Sierra. Time to take off. It's about 20 minutes. Flight time is 2 hours and 05. Cruising altitude 38,000. With a flight number of FR8737. Next. This is a Boeing 777-800. We've got 168 people aboard. We don't have Wi-Fi, but we have got a safe demonstration. As do we have boarding music. And start. So hopefully if it goes to plan, we'll now have passengers boarding, and there you go, sound now plays in the background. Not sound, but it's the Ryanair boarding music. As passengers get on board, they go 14 on so far. We will now go to baggage handling. We'll have 350 kilos of fuel cargo on front. That will get loaded. Rear is applied since we haven't put any fuel in there. Not any fuel, sorry, we put any cargo there. Fuel truck's here, so we can now start the refueling. Let's see that sign is off. Yes, it is. And that is that. Check the people online you speak to. The answer is no. There is an Adria centre, but that is not covering us, I don't think. Yeah, so we're currently on Unicorn 1228. We'll tune to that now. And if we do need to tune to someone later, that can always be done. Right. Back to the tablets, the flight bag. We'll head over to performance. We'll go for weight first. So 168 passengers on board. What I could probably do, I should just read it from the aircrafts. There goes. Passenger numbers are... well, that's how many people on board right now. I'll have to update that later. It's all in pounds as well, which doesn't help me too much. Same with fuel. So we'll come back to the weights and do that in a moment. Cancel that. Airport search. We are at Lima India Mike Charlie. Search. Departing from 17 left. Thrust rating takeoff. Flaps config 10. No air conditioner. No anti-icing required. So wet runway. And if I now bring up this sheet. Is it this sheet? No. It's that's it. It's going to be part of the ACE information. We don't have ATIS, so again we've got whatever request from earlier. Right, show takeoff. I'll go to keyboard. Winds are currently 230 at 07. Temperature is, I can get from the aircrafts, plus 12 degrees. And QNH is 1008. That is fine. Calculate that. And that's our takeoff information there. Has got the weights there go in pounds, admittedly. That's from the aircraft's loadouts. So, let's pop up the FMS, head back to here, and set everything up. So, reserves 1.1 standard Ryanair, cost next of 23, cruising altitude of 380, and cruising winds are currently, where are the average winds, 250 / 066. Let's execute that. N1 limits, that's fine. Take off, so use 10 degrees of flaps like we said. Center gravity, we bring in. And the speeds they've given us, so we'll ignore the ones the aircraft predefines. As this takes into account the weather and temperatures and all that. So 146.153. Also, while I'm here, I've actually got the departure set out. So this time I should be using that on a direct departure actually. There's no stuff, so that's fine. If we're doing direct, we're doing direct. Speak to passengers, shall we? So, pop up the PAX window. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard this flight FR8737 from Milan to London Stansted. We're now just boarding and should be pushing back in just a couple of minutes, and the flight time will be around 2 hours. We ask you to sit back, relax, enjoy the flight. If you have any questions, feel free to ask any of our cabin crew. He'll be happy to help you out. Thank you. This will be not a return to gates. This is a generic public address. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard this flight FR8737 from Milan. And this will now check if the refuelling light's now been done. Now just boarding and should be pushing back in just a couple of minutes. Flight time will be around 2 hours. There we go, refueling's done, so you can miss the fuel truck. See that sign comes on. Just have a look what's next. So, fueling's done. Passengers are still boarding, 74 out of 168. And the cargo has now been loaded. So, I can release the carts and loader. And if I return to doors, so now close the forward cargo door, secure that. At this stage, I'd now be contacting ATC to get the clearance information, although non-active means we can miss that step. That was our rotate speed again, sorry, to make sure we got all that set up. 146. Cruising altitude of 38. And overheads pressure of 38. That's all fine. I'll turn on the left fuel pumps in anticipation of turning on the APU, which we'll do that in a couple of seconds. Quick check in of the overhead, make sure everything is set properly, which it has been. All's looking good. It's 20:27. We should be departing at 22, so we've got about 13 minutes until we start pushing back and leaving. Cabin crew now doing their introduction to the passengers. You can see the actual reflection of the logo lights on the tail there. The PBR is a fantastic little addition to the aircraft. Really brings it to life, just the whole lighting. In fact, if I jump to, where is it? Aircraft's tug view, so I kind of adjust it for the front. Yeah, it's all fancy. All very fancy. That's the actual cockpits. And so, I have figured out the key commands and all that for the push back your own aircraft thing. We're going to give it a go today. It's going to probably end in disaster, but we're going to give it a go. So someone on the voice.com trying to say something, but a bit too far out of range for us to hit. Alright, start the APU now, shall we? Strobe's not yet. Everything else looks fine. APU bleed will turn on once the APU is active. And then the cockpit lighting should be set up already, so if I turn that off, it should all be visible to us. Perfect. Aircraft departing from Bergamo, Ryanair 525. And yeah, since this isn't the ZIBO, no check the cockpit door is secure, because this one you can't open. Yeah, so we do unfortunately use the cabin in the PMDG. Right. So at this point, all we're now doing is waiting for the passengers to all load. 169, 168, so they've got a few more left to go. As soon as they're all on board, we'll then be able to secure the exits, request pushback, and be on our way. Make sure that we're squawking 2500, which is the standard for uncontrolled aircrafts. Until we get a ATC connection, we'll then be given another squawk number. While we wait, chance can just go through the rest of the aircraft, make sure that everything is set. So yeah, rear cargo is 250, which is our target. That's fine. Okay, 249. Come on, guys. Let's try 251. Yeah. Next, ground power. I think we'll keep that going for a little bit. Actually, no needs. We will turn the turn the APU on. APU bleed active. And the GPU can actually now disconnect. Everything else looks spot on. So yeah, it's just about 30 passengers left to go. It's about 2 minutes of boarding. And that's all sorted. So, like I say, aircraft set up 12 Fahrenheit. No, that should be... Okay, let's go back. Hang on, I'll put it in 12 again. I just realised that this is in Fahrenheit, so what I need to do actually is go back, go to utilities, go to the temperature conversion, and this is Fahrenheit, it's 12 Celsius, 53.6. So back to you, show keyboards. 53.6 invalid entry. Okay, I'll get rid of the decimal then. Backspace, backspace. 11 degrees, that's fine. And now calculates. There's going to be different numbers. Init ref 133. Okay, that's fine. Gotta be careful. Yeah, this is in hectopascals as opposed to inches. Well, that is in Fahrenheit and not centigrade. Cool. Go back to the airport map. We'll be taxiing it down Bravo. Sorry. Yeah, down Bravo, onto Mike, onto Alpha, straight onto 17 left. And that'll be us departing. On the flight directors as well, while I wait. Another sensor just tuned in. Not for us. And yeah, it's France control. AG radar and France controller on. That's all for now. Make sure my flight tracker is also going as well. So dispatch. Paste the route in dispatch.
We're ready to go when you are.
Sounds good. So we'll check if this also says that we're ready to go. Ground services, passengers. There you go, 167-168. Last person on board. Let's get this all up now. So we will secure the exits. Close the air there. We'll then go to menu, actions, grounds. That's all fine. Doors are secure. Stairs are for leaving. I presume he's disappearing. Jet bridge stairs, get rid of you. Okay, and that's connecting. And that's AP is running. We'll turn on the strobes. Anti-collision comes on. fuels running. Turn on the the right hand fuel pumps. Centre tank is empty, so need for fuel in that. Ready for push and start, I would say. So, let's see if I know how to do this. Switch over to pushback mode. So, return pushback with self-drive. Select tug. TPX 200. Chocks have been removed. Head over to the tug view. And now, if I press this forwards, oops, no, press it, make sure the parking brake's released, push it backwards, aircraft will reverse. So we need to make sure that the engine's starting up, so engine 2. Yeah, this is what happens when you're on a budget and have to move the aircraft yourself. Back to the tug view. In fact, that's where this comes in, isn't it? So that starts up, starts the fuel flow.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the screen for an important
It's too small.
demonstration.
Okay, we tried, it didn't work. That goes up. So in fact, let me make this tug view. Aircraft tug. Forwards. Focus on this. Nope, other way. Preferably the other way. See, we're doing it. We're doing it. It's not easy. As long as we're away from the gates, then we can try and figure out where the taxiway actually is and get away from there. That'll have to do. Start the engine 2. Parking brake set. Clear that window. And switch. I'll get rid of the tug now. Done! That was the most pointless thing ever. But it's fun. It's like an extra thing there. Push back your own aeroplane. Get out of the way. That's approach, sorry, on takeoff. That's all been set. Leave it on that. If both engines are now active, then we can switch the source. Source 2 is off apparently. Or source 1, sorry. So switch the bleeds. There we go. Bring the packs on. APU off. Turn off the dome lights now. Cabin is ready. And that should be that. Clap sound to 10. Trim is to 4.18. Do a quick check of all the flight surfaces. Make sure I've got all the controls. Good to me. Parking brake released. Taxi lights active. We'll increase the wipe speeds now since we're about to go airborne. And so long it's still a bit of rain as well. So I've actually left the aircraft. We left the about halfway pushed back. see some of the rain effects there on the windows. They drop down. Rain is starting to pick up a little bit, but it's not horribly noticeable. See the time there, 2014 now, so it's about now we'd actually be departing from Milan if you're tracking on flight radar. Just a reminder again, if you're tuning in stream now, I'm doing this premiere as it's a real world flight I'm on, so I am aboard this plane FR8737. So if you go to flight radar to search it or use the link in the description, you'd then be able to track this flight. So taxiing down Mike, and then to Alpha, make a left on Alpha, and then departs. Increase the throttle just a tiny bit to get things moving. There we go. And so we're leaving through Terminal B, which is the low-cost area of Milan. Terminal A is over in the distance. Ryanair 525, that was the one that departed from Bergamo, wasn't it? Just a few minutes ago. And this is the entry point for runway 17 left. Not sure there's no taxi marks going into it. Anyways, tile throttle here. I'll hot shot the runway and I'll announce my intentions to depart on that sim. Departing 17 left. India Mike Charlie. Landing lights active, turn off lights active, taxi lights, whoops, taxi lights off. Turn on the just takeoff brakes. One final check as we enter the runway, which I think is okay. Yep, all looks fine. Let's make sure I squawking mode Charlie now that we enter the runway. Alright, it'll turn on the weather and traffic radars. I've never got this N1 to work, so we'll deal with that after departure. Let's center ourselves on the runway. And let's now leave. Throttle's 50%. So far stable. Let's go. V1. Rotate. V2. Positive right gear up. And there we go. Next stop, London Stansted Airport. We shall set up the LNAV and VNAV, bring on the auto throttle and set the autopilot to active. Flaps will increase. In a moment, we're turn off the turn the wipers off as well, since they are no longer required. It's like it's raining anymore. Bit of minor turbulence as we climb out, as expected. The aircraft do a fab job of holding it still. That's passed through 2,500. So we'll now set the altimeter to standard. Chrono started as well. I keep forgetting the chrono. I always do it a few seconds after departure. It just slightly throws the time off. Not by much, but it's enough. And there we have it. So look at the right hand side aircrafts. Right swing. So there's the airport, there's the view passing to the right hand side. Myself good actually, given that I'm on seat 26F. So I'll get a view of the airport just behind me there. Pass through 7,000, flight level 070. There's a bit of a change there in the tower. Someone's just tuned in, but not us. Aircraft's looking stable now. Turbulence has died down. I'll probably wait till 10,000 first, and then we'll turn off seatbelts gun, sorry. Just to ensure that we get through this next area of clouds without any hassle. And so, this morning, our flight, if you remember the flight plan for it, due to the disliking of French airspace, yes, you know the French airspace strikes, after 10,000, unlike that, the return flight does in fact fly through French airspace. So, it'll be a slightly quicker flight in terms of direction, due to winds not being in our favour. We may lose a few minutes in terms of our northward trajectory, but yes, we do get to fly through France this time, and I think we actually get to go through Paris directly. Should be a nice sight from 38,000 feet. Everything's looking good, so I'll turn off the seatbelt sign. See it, there we go. And we'll also do the same on PAX. So now seatbelt signs are off. There you go. Passengers are very satisfied. On our successful arrival. Everyone seems to be happy and content. No upset passengers. For whatever reason, sometimes you get the odd person who's upset. But it all seems fine today. A slight shake there, thanks to passing through a cloud, but it's caused too much hassle for us. So I'm going to be entering another cloud in a couple of seconds. Cloud turbulence you always have to watch out for as well. Sometimes it's quite light, sometimes it can be a bit more severe. Oh yes, and our tail codes, Delta Yankee Alpha. So good old Ryanair. And it was actually the PMDG NGX that got me into this delivery. And the story behind it, because again, it's not an aircraft that they're actually flying in the real world. Not at all. I had the PMDG and wanted to look for a nice high quality livery on the internet. Came across one livery that's not so well known, but has a fair bit of detail to it. And that's tail code Delta Yankee Alpha. And from then, I never looked back. It's an older aircraft, 15 years actually recently celebrated. But I've never been on it. I've never even seen the aircraft, and only once have I been in Stansted when the aircraft was in the area. Although it's probably parked in the gates where I couldn't quite spot it. But yeah, just because of flight sim, Yankee Alpha has become my go-to of all aircrafts. So I'd say it's quite pretty, the clouds actually, as you climb out. I mean, this is default clouds, default weather. I don't have active sky or anything for P3D. I just picked a weather preset that's similar to what there is right now. It works. It does work. I've got Freemesh X powering some of the grounds here. So these Alps are slightly nicer in detail. At some point, I'll need to look at getting some ortho, well, not ortho, but actually no, because the method I was using before, FS avatars, I don't think it's P3D V4 compatible. I'd have to check, but I don't think it is. So have to find a work around that. I mean, the default scenery is not half bad now I've got the Orbex stuff installed, but status can be better. Since Microsoft Flight Simulator's show reel, this doesn't count as default sim anymore. It can always be better. And then again, X-Plane's auto tiles always looks really good. As I keep saying, FSX and P3 don't quite get the sense of scale right in terms of high altitudes. But regardless, it doesn't look terrible, not by any means. So now passing through 225. A little bit turbulent, but nothing major. We'll keep the seatbelt sign off now, but we'll have it on the ready in case things do get a little bit shaky. On the radar, no traffic to worry about just yet. And one thing I do want to do actually is if I go back to the setup, the fuel meter there on Delta Yankee Alpha should be the older style. It's not equipment, sorry, it's on displays. And I want to do, where is it? Fuel rings, I believe it's called. Okay, fuel total display. That's it. So back to legs. That is perfect. So now that we've done with our takeoff information, we now actually get the weight and balance proper. So if I were to read from aircraft, there we go. So the aircraft is within its limits without any problem there at the bottom. We have our passengers on board, our cargo, other information and fuel aboard. That's good, perfect. So back. There's a takeoff don't need anymore, so it's going to be landing. We're landing at Echo Golf Sierra Sierra Stansted. Runways probably that should be 22, not 23. I'll presume it'll be 23. There's a good chance I will have a London Centre actually later. London Centre is usually quite active when it comes to late nights. So leave that off. In fact, go to the airport map and search for Stansteds. So I have got UK 2000 scenery installed in here, but I believe the states in May using defaults. Well, actually, I could be wrong. This could be the new one. 5 ones, 5 O's. Yeah, because didn't have the 5 on rights, lefts. Ooh, but then there's no extension bit where it now uses storage. So I think it's default data. Just fine. Taxiway numbers are still the same. That's what matters for us. Terminal charts. That's another graph thing. I don't have another graph, so we won't use that. It's actually going to say fault on the screen, which is fine. No, I'm going to pop that out. That can go back. Yeah, that all looks fine. Another aircraft on final into Milan, although it's now using runway 35 as opposed to 17. Chance winds may have changed that. Yeah, we'll turn the seatbelt sign on. Right, that's equipment calling. I want... where is it? There. Same for packs. We'll let you know that passenger seatbelt sign has come on. Oh gosh, right time as well. This aircraft is starting to shake around a bit. Now past through 30,000, 300. So another 8,000 to go until we do reach our top of cruise. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I have always preferred slightly more turbulent flights to flat, boring ones. I don't know, when it comes to turbulence, it makes it more exciting almost. It's a bit more life in flying rather than just flat, boring nothingness. I can imagine that some passengers don't like it, but I don't know. I've never enjoyed roller coasters, but the adrenaline from turbulent aircraft, it's always a bit more fun. And again, at some point I need to catch up with the guy who offered the flights in his RV Vans 4. Going through its annual at the moment. Once that's been sorted out and the weather starts to clear up, try and do a few loop-de-loops. That'll be an interesting one. But yeah, almost certainly in the next year. You can see a bit of turbulence on the wings there. I can imagine that's because we're actually going through the Alps right now. As this is just mountains, the airflow goes through it. We'll be forced upwards basically, and the upwards air going with the high altitude winds will just cause it coming in from 2 angles. So as a result, turbulence is formed. Again, it's that level of detail that I really do like in P3D. Even though the aircraft is actually reacting quite a bit to the turbulence. The original NGX, it fired like this with no problem whatsoever. Maybe after you installed Active Sky, it reacts to turbulence, because Active Sky does force a lot of air into all directions to your aircraft. But by default weather, it never really did too much. But now, this aircraft is jostling and jumping and bumping around like crazy. Seatbelts will stay on for a little bit, I think. We'll go back to enter the harsh clouds. Once we're above that, woo, things should start to calm down a bit. Oh boy. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, an update from the captain on the flight deck. We do apologise for the slight turbulence we're having right now, which is not too much we can do about that. But we can assure you that the aircraft is flying without any problems, and we should make it in no time to Stansted. Just about to reach our cruising altitude of 38,000 feet, which is 13,000 metres or 13 kilometres up, and our arrival will be in about an hour and it cuts you off early, but it'll do it. So by speaking to the passengers, what you're basically doing is kind of like reassuring them that there is no problem, because again, turbulence happens. Seatbelt sign is active, so that's not a problem. We're going through another bit of turbulence. So again, just by reassuring the passengers that there's no problem, everyone stays happy. London Centre's just tuned in, 12945, so let's get close to them. We don't get a chance to make some contact. Is that a thunderstorm down below, actually? Just got a flash there in the distance on the left. Yep, there's a thunderstorm somewhere below. And that also won't help with the turbulence. Ooh, there we go, there's a flash I should see right there on the right. There we go. So now at cruising altitudes. What's this? Disconnects from voice server. Reason lost connection. Oh, hang on, let me reconnect to that sim. Keep the voice codec running. There we go. Any traffic nearby? There's a few aircraft, Scandinavian, Thompson and TUI. Yes, I now know that's Thompson, not Thomas Cook, because Thomas Cook no longer exists. So, a few weeks ago I asked what airline is the code for Tom. I now know it's Thompson Fly. I love the flashing lights. Going to be right up against that high altitude cloud there. I presume that's 40,000. So we are just slightly below it. To be fair, when it comes to weather in Milan for the trip, the forecast for it wasn't particularly great. So this kind of weather was expected for the trip out. I have to say, I really am enjoying the NGXu. And truth be told, I have missed the good old platform P3D, FSX. It's been so long since I last used it. It really has been a return to memory lane. There we go, still going through turbulence, losing a bit of altitude there. Whoa. Pressure changes as well. Although it looks like things are calming down now, so we may be able to turn off the seatbelt sign in a couple of moments. Still a bit of thunder, but no more turbulence. And the altitude clouds are starting to dissipate a bit. Let's turn those off. let Pax know that we've turned them off. And there we have it. So ETA is 21:58. It's currently 21:05. Yeah, about 55 minutes until our arrival into Stansted. So, hang on. So at this stage, you see where we are now, because like I say, our route, as it goes, will take us over Paris. So if I drag over the map for this one, give it its 5 seconds to catch up and realise what it's doing. Because again, if you guys know where we are, also helps with the tracking as well as those in real life. So, here we are in Pax. So aircraft over here, 3 Tango uniform. And so we are now over France. We are going over Dijon, to Troyes, over Paris, and then into London. In terms of range, not doing too bad. About a third of the way into the flight now, I'd say. But a red bar would say otherwise, maybe a quarter. It's not a long flight particularly. And the longest flight I've ever done is still going to be the time I did London Luton to Athens. That was actually a long one, 4.5 hours on a plane. But eventually, I do need to look into going out of Europe for the first time. And actually start travelling the world a bit more. I mean, I've travelled around Europe, but there's a lot more outside of Europe, apparently. The whole world I've not yet seen. So there we go, in-flight meal. It's just about to turn on seatbelts again because of the wind, but it looks like it has decided to stabilise a bit. It knows. It knows that turbulence is kicking up and I need to start thinking about cutting it off again. Again, as long as my finger's on the trigger, I'll then be able to just deal with any issues with turbulence. Seatbelt signs will come back on again. Just a bit too much for my liking. In this case, I think we may keep the seatbelt sign on for a slightly longer duration. Possibly even a bit closer to landing. Oops. Back packs. So cabin status is serving Dragon to Snick. Passengers still happy at least. Not having an issue with the turbulence. Few people hungry. But again, cabin crew are currently going through. There you go, eating and drinking. Barry Bradley, 52 years old in business. And all looks good. Everyone should be seated since seatbelt sign is again active. Turbulence has died down, but I won't take that just yet. Can wait for a bit more distance before I plan to turn that off again. We're now long past the Alps. It's now just the French flatlands down below. Realised actually as we're at cruise, probably turn off the logo light now as well, because no one can see the logo from the ground. Airbus aircraft do turn it off automatically, the logo light above 10,000. Boeing's not so, but hey, I still prefer Boeing's. Yeah, again, both aircraft have their benefits, both have their drawbacks. There's an aircraft to my right, about 40 miles out. Now, because this is P3D, there is a chance I may actually be able to spot their lights in the distance. Probably not, because they are actually miles out. But next thing I have noticed that I've not been a massive fan of the draw distance for AI aircraft, especially on VATSIM. It's a bit better here on P3D, that's for sure. Right, so we've now reached our next waypoint, goated, got it. Just on a left turn, which then takes us right through to the English Channel. And then we cut in from the south. Quite a few German controllers active. No French on, as you can imagine. And then the London Centre is active. London Centre's on pretty much 24/7. I mean, respect to those guys. They do make a fantastic service as well. You can see actually caught right in the middle now the two layers of stressless clouds, two high altitude clouds. That left wing probably is returning, is now clipping the very end of that, so yeah, you can imagine it's now going to catch a bit more of the winds down below, especially the cloud turbulence. Yeah, that aircraft is now 20 miles from me. Dead to my right, slightly lower, but not by much. If I were to see any flashing lights in the distance, that would be them, but again, very unlikely at this stage. So, updates on upcoming flights actually as well. Next weekend, next Saturday, I'm actually flying to Copenhagen with Ryanair. So again, tune in for that one. I'll probably do both the outbound and return flights in the NGXu. And yes, so I fly to Copenhagen. And then from Copenhagen, I take a train. And that train goes down to Hamburg. Now this is done by the German intercity services, but running Danish stock. And there are two routes you can take. Either go to the west and then go down south and go all on land, or the route I'm taking, which is going via Rodby, and that goes via a train ferry. Yes, so the train drives onto a boat. So the boat comes down, it lines off the track, the train drives onto the boat, and then the train on the boat sets sail for the German side, which is Putzgarten, I believe it's called, or Putzgarten, and from there, the train then deboards the ferry, and then continues again down to Hamburg, which is the nearest city. So that's a fair bit of fun. Not too expensive either, and soon to be replaced actually as well, because there's now a tunnel being built between Putzgarten and Rodby, meaning that the ferry will soon be replaced by just a tunnel connection, which is faster and safer as well. But it'd be a shame to see it go, because this service has been in action for about 50 years now. And while the tunnel's set to open in the mid-2020s, I mean, I'm part of the Scandinavian Railway Society, and they have noted that something's supposed to happen on December the 7th, which I don't know if they're cancelling it early or if there's just maintenance going on, but something happens on December 7th. They never said what it was, so I see them actually in 2 weeks. I'll definitely get an update for that. But again, it does sound like a lot of fun that. You're on the train, drives onto a boat, and then you're on the water for about 40 minutes. And it's about a 4-hour train total, so not a short one, but a fun one. And then I get to Hamburg. I then stay there in the evening, look around, grab something to eat, sleep, wake up in the morning, spend another few hours just looking around, and then I head back to the airport. I head back to Hamburg airport, and then take a one-way flight from there back to London Stansted, where I make it back to the UK for towards the evening. And then I got a Harry Hill show watched live, which is also fun. So I've got 2 weekends in a row of flying. And then I stay out in the UK for a bit until December 21st, where I then fly to Lappeenranta in Finland via Milan Bergamo. So I take British Airways one leg, Ryanair the second, and I fly back on January 5th from Helsinki to London Gatwick. And this was with Norwegian. I actually received a text from Norwegian a few days ago saying that the flights will no longer be operated by a Norwegian plane, but instead by a Jettime 737. So obviously the MAX issues that they've got at the moment with all their planes grounded, they've had to lease in a bunch of different aircraft, and so technically if the MAX is flying again by January, there's a chance I could be on board the 737 MAX, but as it stands, it's like it'd just be a Jettime leased 73. And that could be quite interesting, because they do have a majority 737-700s opposed to 800s. And I've only ever been in the 800s, so getting that type of 73 down. But regardless, it should be a good trip that. 2 weeks in Finland for Christmas and New Year, so I'm very excited for that one, as you can imagine. And then a week later, yep, we're doing it again. On Sunday, I then fly to Venice, so that'll be Sunday the 12th of January. So I fly with Ryanair from Stansted to Venice, and then I fly with Volotea from Venice to Catania. Now, what are Volotea the sole European operator of? If you've guessed the Boeing 717, then you, my friends, are correct. Yes, I have managed to book a flight with them, because at this stage they're now really starting to push their replacement aircraft. So retire the old 7-1s in place of A319s. And so I thought, if I'm going to fly one, better now than never, because there is a chance I'll never be able to do it again. So that ticket's been booked, and I'll be flying there next year. And then spend a day in Catania. Then it's Monday evening I return. So Monday evening I fly from Catania to Milan. No, not Malpensa. Linate. Where I then catch an Embraer 190 and fly from Linate to London City. So I've not done London City yet either. Another first time for me there. So, in the next 2 months, I'm basically travelling to all 3 Milan airports. Flying from Malpensa today. December I'm flying from Bergamo. And then next year, flying from... next year, so 3 weeks later, flying through Linate, which is always good. I love travelling, I really do. And the fact is that 2 of my 3 upcoming trips, actually 4 upcoming, at this time, because it's pre-recorded, this flight I'm doing right now is still an upcoming trip, but now on the flight back home to the UK. So, 3 upcoming trips, 2 of them, I just going to ride on a certain mode of transport. A train for one of them, a type of plane for another. But again, that's where I just, that's where I'm me, basically. Yes, I will spend money, go to another country, just because of a special kind of locomotive. Oh yeah, and it has to be cheap as well. I mean, if it was super expensive, no way I'd do it. 139.5. Get the drop pad ready.
Control, Speedbird 572 with you, flight level 350. Correction 330.
Friends control, so 6165 fly level 360. Thank you.
Say what you want about what I'm going to say,
Identified you. Now I lost the call, so now the other station calling me.
but
What was it?
I have never actually heard.
It was Swiss 6. Oh no, my squawk.
No, the other station calling me, not Swiss. Other station calling me, your call sign, please. Speedbird 572. Speedbird 572, France Control, thank you, identified. You'll be flying in cruise flight level 330.
We're in France. We're in France.
Olympic 7055, France
Yeah,
Control,
well, let's
call 57.
wait for a gap in the chat, and then we'll call them in.
Speedbird 572, confirm your final cruise flight level, please. Speedbird France Control, yeah, I'm climbing at 350. I didn't even realize I was at 330, sorry. No worries, climb and maintain flight level 350 then.
Bonjour French Control, this is Ryanair 3 Tango uniform with the flight level 380.
Ryanair 3 Tango uniform, France Control, good day, identified. France, hello.
Okay, no squawk code.
Blocked, 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 blocked. The first station, easy, go ahead again. France, hello, easy 58 Delta Lima, flight level 380.
I just kind of feel bad for this French controller guy. He's not in the best of moods, you can hear. And those blockings aren't helping him either.
5703, easy 58 Delta Lima. France Control, 66 Golf Alpha, with you, flight level 360. Paris Control, good day, Alitalia 405 with you, fly direct at Ebro, flight level 360. Italia 405, hello, France Control, squawk 5713, and there was another station calling me, just your call sign, please. For the third time, Speedbird 66 Golf Alpha. Speedbird 66 Golf Alpha, France Control, hello, identified.
Alright, you can now breathe. Nope, blocked.
National 6 Yankee Echo, that was half blocked, but identified. Other station calling me, call sign, please. Viking 1219. Viking 1219, France Control, good day, identified. 4055713 on the box. Alright, 405, France Control, identified, thank you.
Flight Control, good evening. Eurowing 7 November Tango, flight level 260 inbound Maple.
Eurowing 7 November Tango, hello, squawk 5765.
So yeah, we're now at the midpoint of the flights.
Squawk 5765, Eurowing 7
Can't see about signs
November
again, since I'm now fairly confident that we won't have an issue with the weather anymore.
Flight Control, good evening. KLM 47 Bravo, flight level 330.
KLM 47 Bravo, hello, France Control, squawk 5.
Now that we're long clear of the Alps, we don't have to worry about any more storms coming from behind. Again, everyone's still happy. Another hour and 20 minutes till they expect to land. We won't announce any early arrivals so that we have time on the ground to taxi, and then it will make sense from that.
5737.
5737 for the 179 to go.
Control, we are ready for descent, Ryanair 10 Yankee.
Actually, I will note, also add as well, I like the way VPilot actually also makes sounds quieter in the game. So still there, but adjust the volume to actually hear the ATC better than the in-game sounds. Smart way of doing it, it's kind of just like any VoIP call, you can set it up. But the way VPilot does it, and I should really look into Xpilot for it. X-Plane 11 because it's just a great little system that. It's a good looking aircraft. I've always enjoyed my 73s. People ask me what my favourite aircraft is. It's a 737-400, not an 800. But I've always liked 73s because you look at a silhouette of an aeroplane or anything like that. The 737 is just your classic aeroplane shape. I mean, anybody who's ever flown, most people I can say have flown, have probably been in the 73 at least once in their lives. No matter where in the world you are, this is the workhorse of the skies. I mean, Airbus are coming with their 320 series now, and in the last 10 years they really have taken the market by storm. And the rate of orders have definitely been a lot higher. And yeah, okay, the 73, it's an older aircraft, it's an older body, an older shape, and doesn't quite live up to today's standards, as the Max came to show us. But for 60 years, it really has been one aircraft does all. Look at Canada, look at Africa, 200's still flying because of their gravel kits, and it's just such a well-defined aircraft. I do like my Boeings. I'm not saying Airbus are bad, but I do like my Boeings. So you should now be in the Paris cluster soon. You can actually spot Charles de Gaulle there. And the Foxtrot Papa Golf.
Bravo approaching top of descent.
Bravo descent at flight level 150.
Actually, that being said, we were flying Ryanair, so Charles de Gaulle, we don't care about it. Oh boy, hang on to the kid again.
6165, descent flight level 240, continue on Unicom 122 decimal 8, bye-bye.
Descent 240, continue.
Yeah, what was the yeah, got it. They removed it from YouTube, but it's still on their Twitter. Official video from Ryanair, and probably my absolute favourites they've ever done. Here we go. Cockpit karaoke.
We're just about to land in a place that you all know. We know it's not that central, but the fares are really low. Cause for 20 odd
France Control, Portugal, 1363 request.
years, Paris.
Bye-bye.
Years of waiting for a chance to fly you to an airport near the capital of France. But we'll never get tired of telling you.
Portugal, go ahead. France Control, Portugal 1363, we would like to, heading 230 for a couple of minutes due to weather. That's approved, turn right heading 230. 5230,
I've always loved this video. When it comes to Ryanair and social media, also if you're on Twitter, follow me, /DrawyYT, @DrawyYT. Yeah, Ryanair and their online presence has always been an interesting mix.
Viking 1219, leaving my airspace, Unicom 122 decimal 8, bye-bye. 122, Viking 1219, bye-bye.
But I've just loved their cockpit karaoke they're called. There's about 4 of them online. 3 of them still on YouTube, that one not on there. I'm not sure why I removed it from YouTube, it's still quite a funny one. Oh boy. Actually, it'd be worth leaving the seatbelt sign on for the rest of the flight now. Wait for one more sharp turbulence, I got a bit late to that one. We do suffer. Seatbelt sign comes on and we'll be on for the rest of the flights. Yep, that's answered it then. Seatbelt sign active. The cockpit karaoke. It's the best thing Ryanair have ever done. They've got a Euro special when the Euros are on. You've got the World Cup special for the World Cup. Then there's the Prince special for what would have been Prince's 50th birthday. I've enjoyed the Purple Plane one. Purple Plane's a good one. A nice stick to Wizz Air there. And there's one more. I forget what the other one was about, but they've always been fantastic. Cockpit karaoke. If you're watching this Ryanair, don't know why anyone from Ryanair would want to watch this. But if anyone is, bring it back, please. What are the names? Phil Gently and there's the one. Both of the presenters' names are innuendos. Phil Gently, I remember, but the other one is Bob something.
All stations stand by.
Ah, HC's disappeared for a second there. Ooh, is that Charles de Gaulle? Have a look. No, it's not Charles de Gaulle. That's Senis. Charles de Gaulle's to my left behind the cloud somewhere. And again with the turbulence.
Danish 246, leaving my airspace, Unicom 122 decimal 8, bye-bye. 123, Danish 246, bye-bye.
It'll be interesting to see the I'll actually have a look at the weather at Stansted.
Portugal 1363, roger that. Portugal 1363, roger that. Proceed direct Balba.
Doesn't look too bad. It's 10 knot wind, 090. Broadcast 2300, overcast at 32. Pressure's quite standard, so The weather's not too bad at
Roger that, direct air of 1.
Stansted. I can definitely live with that. Stansted ground's active. Looks like it will be runway 04 landing today. Let's see if the winds stay that way. So I really have to say as well, ever since, yeah, now I've got P3D 4, the NGX on this, the frame rate, it's fine, the frame rate certainly is standing on a lot better as well. Then again, I don't quite have so many mods installed yet, but now that things are starting to get a bit more standards, I'm sure we'll get to enjoy a bit more the simulator without horrible lagging and pain. I'm not flying through London yet. London's going to be a big challenge for this one. But if that holds it, I think we're on to a winner here. And again, that's not saying I'm going to stop using X-Plane, because X-Plane I've still got a couple of aircraft now I do enjoy. And the ZIBO's good, so I'll definitely fly the ZIBO again in the future. I did this morning, don't forget. And also, when I do the Lup and Ranta flights, I'll probably do the ZIBO for that, because I think for long distance it'll look greater. I mean, absolutely. The Lup and Ranta scene I've got in is pretty good. And the Ortho... Oh, hang on. What's happened there?
132.6. No. Tomjet 2 Fox Tank. It's a question. Were you with London Control just before? We were on 1326. Oh, okay. Well, he forgot to... I mean, I guess he sent you to Unicom. Negative. We came to you when you sent the contact me. Okay, because he didn't send me your tag, that's why. Alright, fair enough. Anyways, Tomjet 2 Fox Tango, you are identified. Proceed direct Balan. Direct Balan, Tomjet 2 Fox Tango. Yeah, he was quite busy, so... fair enough, fair enough.
See, this is why I love VATSIM. The community, it's just so fantastic. Yes, there's heated moments, but it's always a win for everyone.
Easy 73 Mike Hotel, go ahead. Yes, squawk change, squawk 5727. 5727, easy 73 Mike Hotel.
We're approaching top of descent. Go to the airport dates, I don't need that anymore. What I will do is set up an approach for runway 04. We can always change it. Get requested. Actually have to try and look at an approach coming from the south as well. Will be Santa Charlie Lima November. Now I'll raise that. 04 will confirm. We'll be now at 1 Alpha for us today. Let's have a look at the steps from that. So, plan, zoom in, step, 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 step. Actually, that doesn't look horrible. Not sure about that approach not going via the actual glide slope. Ah, hang on. Let me grab the waypoints CF, Charlie Foxtrot.
1228, thank you, bye-bye, 47 Bravo.
And the Banva waypoint, if we put it there. Okay, that looks better. We'll execute that, zoom in. So from Banvart, Charlie Foxtrot 04. And I'll be in the intercept into there, so that's all sorted. If they tell us to go via 222, we can always switch it around. And likewise, there's a good chance that if there's active controller, they'll just give us the waypoints instead. So they'll give us vectors. But we'll announce near top of the descent when we get to that point. And then the power control will be able to guide us down from there. Yeah, the one thing I do miss actually from X-Plane is the replay mode. Actually, I say that, I have got that flight control replay add-on. I did a review on it a little while ago, and it is a great little tool. I'll go through my list. I'll try and grab the installer for that. I'll see if I can get flight control replay in here as well. It'd be nice to get some replays for these landings. Ryanair 3 Tango uniform is nearing top of descents.
Ryanair 3 Tango uniform, descent flight level 340, contact London 132.6, good day.
1326. Contacts 1326 and down to 340 for Ryanair 3 Tango uniform.
France CZ 53 request
132 decimal 6.
Descend the flight.
Now London Centre.
London Centre, easy 59 Papa November, we should be descending.
859 Papa November, thank you. Ryanair 42X Whiskey, continue the right turn, heading 330 degrees.
And so once we get to our top descent marker, we'll start our descent.
59 Papa November,
And then
descend
we'll
flight level 90.
say hello. I mean, we've got to wait for a gap anyway in the conversation.
German cargo 214, descend flight level 90. German cargo 110, runway 09, clear to land, surface wind 060 degrees 7 knots. 334 Papa Golf, runway 08, clear for takeoff, surface wind 010 degrees 5 knots.
Clear takeoff 08, 34 Papa Golf.
10, you are number 1, runway 04, clear to land, surface wind
They
090
did actually say earlier that this frequency was busy, so just keep an ear open for this one, for a gap.
NGXu, there's nothing further now, monitor 122 decimal 8, bye-bye. 122 decimal 8, Unit 183.
Hello there, London Centre. This is Ryanair 3 Tango uniform with you at 380 for 340.
Ryanair 3 Tango uniform, London, thank you. Laurel 4, Quebec arrival, Stansted.
Laura 4 approach for Stansted, Ryanair 3 Tango uniform. Okay, so it is runway 4 on the Laura approach for Quebec.
42X Whiskey, turn right heading 340 degrees and descend to altitude 3,000 feet. 340, 3,000. 42X Whiskey.
You know what, such last is the Laura approach.
Amsterdam is 230, stop your climb at 2.
It gets so loud.
89, stop your climb at flight level 230, final level.
It gets so loud.
Stop at flight level 2305, oh, what's the rate now?
Easy 34 Papa Golf, climb now flight level 160, no speed restriction.
Flight level 160, easy 34 Papa Golf. Landing control, speed at 66 Golf Alpha.
Speed at 66 Golf Alpha, London.
Speed at 66 Golf Alpha, with you, flight level 350, flight level 320.
Super 66 Golf Alpha London, Roger, begin 4 Bravo arrival Heathrow. When you're ready, descend flight level 180 to be level at Edfax.
There's a good chance to actually be flying over London Heathrow from this approach, especially coming in from the south.
Their 3 Tango uniform, descend flight level 260.
Yeah, good chance.
And their 3 uniform, descend flight level 260.
260 for 3 Tango uniform.
Jet 56 Papa, turn left heading 330 degrees.
Right down to 26.
Turn to cargo 214, turn right heading 260 degrees, it's radar vectors ILS, runway 08 right.
Plan left heading 260 degrees, vector flight approach from 808, right, London Control going around 04 Stansted, speed of 010.
Speed of 010, roger, when able, right turn heading 200 degrees, climb to maintain 4,000 feet.
Heading 200 degrees and 4,000, speed of 010.
Chicago 110, taxi via Alpha and Bravo, stand 103. Sorry about the vectors there.
Oh, no worries. Control level is 2086.
Bit of shallow descent rates we've got right now, so
London, thank you. It's in a
got a
Delhi
manual
1 Alpha,
2,000 feet per
arrival
minute
runway
descent.
08 at Luton, descent flight level 120.
The speed should be 265 across the board until it gets 10,000, that's fine.
Descent 120 is 2086.
London, good evening, easy 58 Delta Lima, descent 3310.
Airborne for 1 hour now.
58 Delta Lima, London, thank you. Timber 4 Bravo, descent flight level 260.
Descent 260, can we get Q-Nav 1 Golf, 58 Delta Lima?
Okay, Kunav 1 Golf.
Thanks. Descent, was that 120?
260.
Sorry, 26, 58 Delta Lima.
American 1782, nothing further, monitor 122.8.
122.8 for American 1782, thank you very much for the service, have a nice evening, bye-bye.
Bye. I'm Jet 56 Papa, climb flight level 360.
360 from Jet 56.
234 Papa Golf, turn left heading 205, climb flight level 200.
Reducing down to 25 at this rate.
Level 200 easy, 34 Papa Golf.
And the aircraft's still flying level.
Just confirm it was 260 degrees.
Still some power leak across the engines
Chicago
there.
214, 260 AFM. Right turn please, 280 degrees now.
Right time, 280 degrees.
Likewise, I'm now listening out for 3 Tango uniform calls. I'm getting ready for a landing in a couple of minutes as well.
9 left.
London, hello, Jedi 1 X-ray, passing 5,000 feet for flight level 60, frame 1 X-ray, terminating Gatling.
Jedi 1 X-ray, thank you. Climb now, flight level 70.
Climb up to 70, Jedi 1 X-ray.
Speedbird 4 Papa, are you with me?
Speedbird 4 Papa with you.
4 Papa, thank you. Climb now, flight level 200, no speed restriction.
Prime level, flight level 200, Speedbird 4 Papa.
I'm switching the speed there. It is slowly crawling out.
Sorry about that, we had a bit of a VPOL issue, but continuing 340.
42 X-ray whiskey, turn right heading 045, cleared ILS 08, right.
Turbulence is doing a job at slowing this descent rate. On spoilers, doesn't actually do much.
I'm Jet 56 Papa, resume on navigation, direct Leicester.
Leicester, Tom Jet 56 Papa.
E2086, redirect Abbott. E2086, redirect Abbott.
Direct Abbott is 2086.
E34 Papa Golf, resume on navigation, direct Bogner, climb flight level 370.
Direct Bogner, flight level 370.
While I'm here, we'll set up the landing. So 105, 043, 1105, 1105.
The 66 Golf Alpha, redirect begin.
043, 043. So once we are connected to the localizer, that'll then get us onto the glide slope.
30 degrees, descent to altitude 3,000 feet.
Heading 230 degrees and descent to 3,000, speed of 010.
We're at 26 now, so we should give him further descent.
Runway 08 right, clear to land, service wind 100 degrees at 8 knots. The tower's closing shortly, so remain with me.
Right, clear to land, run at 40 X-ray whiskey.
59 Papa November, turn right heading 335.
335.
Underdog should be at 3 feet. Oh, we're doing alright for descent.
Flight correction, easy 59 Papa November, descent to altitude 3,000
339.
feet, QNH 1001.
We've got miles. I thought we were doing a bit high.
D59 Papa November, descent to altitude 3,000 feet, QNH 1001.
3,000 feet, QNH 1001, 59 Papa November.
Then 1 X-ray, redirect to Abbott.
While I'm here,
X-ray, redirect to Abbott.
Redirect Abbott for Jedi 1 X-ray.
Then 1
performance
X-ray, you can expect to be broken off the
Runway
approach.
05,
Right,
also
base,
4,
runway 04 at Stansted.
wet runway.
Roger. Flight control, BB American 730 at 2,400.
American 7 under, roger, climb now, flight level 120, no speed restriction.
Winds are
Up to 120, speed is line, American 7.
100 at 8.
010, turn right heading 310 degrees.
Second, speed is 010.
Right heading 310 degrees.
Temperature
310 degrees,
51.
speed is 010, thank you.
QNH 1003.
Hello, Ryanair 165 with you, heading 130.
5 keyboards. Flaps config 30. No and off.
Sorry, who was that?
Calculate that. To be 154 VREF. Landing weight.
Who was that calling, please?
That's in pounds, so no idea what that is.
65 heading 130.
Heading 1625, thank you. Straighten approach runway 15, descend to altitude 3,000 feet, QNH 1002.
Straight in 100, turn down 3,000, Ryanair 165, thank you.
Ryanair 165, continue present heading, radar vectors ILS, runway 15.
Roger, present heading radar vectors 15, Ryanair 165.
Cargo 214, descend flight level 90. Beaver 66 Golf Alpha, descend flight level 90, be level at begin.
Flight 90, we'll try to be level at begin 66 Golf Alpha.
85 at Delta Lima, descend flight level 90, be level at Timber. Descend flight level 90, level Timber, easy 58 Delta Lima. And a 3 Tango uniform, descend flight level 160.
Down to 160 for 3 Tango uniform.
D59 Papa November 10, right heading 045, cleared ILS, runway 08 right.
045, runway 08 right, easy 59 Papa November.
24 to Extra Whiskey, ground 121 decimal 8. 121 decimal 8.
16,000, go to 2,000
Turn
minutes.
right heading 060 degrees, establish localizer, runway 04 from the north.
Right heading 060 degrees, establish
Down to 1,800.
010.
Keep the aircraft at decent speeds. We'll continue descent. We're over the UK. How far from London? Won't be able to see too. Oh no. Oh yeah, we're on the coast. There's the sea. So we're actually coming in over
Speed at 010, descend to altitude 2,000
Eastbourne. Nice area, Eastbourne. Seven Sisters Country Park. Very beautiful place.
T2086, turn left heading 260 degrees, radar vectors ILS, runway 08.
Once again, a bit turbulent at the moment as we come on down. Nothing the aircraft can't handle.
Heading 260 degrees, radar vectors ILS, runway 08.
260 to ILS 08, easy 2808.
American 7, climb flight level 210.
210, Mark 7.
59 Papa November, continue approach number 1.
Continue approach number 1. 59 November.
Cargo 214, turn right heading 305.
And again, I love how well trained this London Centre is pretty much all the time.
Cargo 214, confirm heading
It's
305.
speech, 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 speech. Wait for response. Speech, wait, speech, wait. It's just so well timed, so well tuned.
Runway 04, clear to land, service wind
He can
10
talk,
degrees,
he gives
lead
the pilot a chance to talk. And when he's done, goes straight in.
On the good roll, always sexy hotel Papa descending to flight level 190, expecting Kinav 1 Golf arrival.
68 Hotel Papa London, squawk 0647.
0647, easy 6 hotel Papa.
Easy 59 Papa November, 08 right, clear to land, 100 degrees, 6 knots.
Copy wind clear to land, easy 59 Papa November.
American 7, redirect Somva, climb flight level 330.
It's about to pass through 20,000 now.
Can I have up to 330 at the intersection one more time, sir?
Direct to Somva, Sierra Oscar Mike Victor Alpha.
Sambo, American 7.
Jedi 1 X-ray, turn left heading 310 degrees, radar vector ILS, runway 04. Jedi 1 X-ray.
What runway will we expect Jedi 1 X-ray?
Jedi 1 X-ray, left heading 310 degrees, radar vector ILS, runway 04. Left end 310, radar vector 04, Jet 1 X-ray. Ryanair 1625 on the heading, cleared ILS runway 15.
Thought it was me for a second. Nope.
Cleared ILS 15, Ryanair 1625, thank you.
68 Hotel Papa, descend flight level 100 to be level at Timber.
Level 100 for Timber, 68 Hotel Papa.
Lufthansa cargo 214, 30 miles, runway 08 right, descend to altitude 3,000 feet, QNH 1001.
Send down to 3,000 feet, QNH 1001. Cargo 214.
The 66 Golf Alpha, enter the hold at Big End as you descend. Enter hold at Big End as descend, 66 Golf Alpha. Viva 66 Golf Alpha, thank you, contact Heathrow 119725.
19725, thanks for service.
58 Delta Lima, leave Timber heading 285, speed 220 knots or greater, radar vectors ILS, runway 08 right.
Leave Timber 85, 220 knots or greater, 08 right, CC 58 Delta Lima.
LAN 265 London.
Gatwick should now be on our left in a couple of moments. Let's look on the map again, show what's going on. Where is it?
Goes 163 London, thank you, climb now, flight
So
level
we're here.
140, no
Gatwick's
speed
just to our left.
Flight level 140,
And we'll cut right through London. So actually Heathrow will be on our
X-ray 30 miles, runway
left-hand
04,
side.
descend to altitude 5,000
Really get
feet,
down
QNH
low.
1003.
Descent to altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1003, Jet 1 X-ray.
Descend to cargo 214, speed 220 knots.
220 knots, contact cargo 2.
And 1625, runway 15, cleat alarm 060 degrees, 6 knots.
Good land, Ryanair 162.
And a 3 Tango uniform, redirect Barkway.
Redirect Sparkway for 3 Tango uniform.
Thank you. Easy 2086, descend flight level 80.
Descent 80, easy 2086.
T58 Delta Lima, descend flight level 80.
Easy 58 Delta Lima.
T68 Hotel Papa, descend flight level 90.
7086 Hotel Papa.
Skyways 163, climb flight level 180.
180, Skyways 163.
Actually it's Barkey, he said.
Uniform, descend flight level 110.
We'll make the full right turn.
3 Tango uniform, descend flight level 110. Minus 3 Tango uniform, London.
Oops. 110, 3 Tango uniform.
Thank you.
Gosh, again, it goes so loud there, and because I'm readjusting my ears again, or just getting back in focus, I missed the response. Slows the guy down. I feel bad.
Contact ground 12175.
Contact ground 12175, speed 010, thank you for service.
12175.
Well, that's 240, right? So that we can start going down for the 10,000.
1.8.
1218, thank you very much, bye bye.
Bye bye. Denver cargo 214, turn left heading 290 degrees.
Left heading 290 degrees.
C34 Papa Golf, contact France Upper 130950.
130950, easy 34 Papa Golf.
Jet 1 X-ray, descend to altitude 3,000 feet.
Descend 3,000 feet, Jet 1 X-ray.
Skyways 163, Dane 2 Alpha, arrival Manchester.
Into Alpha, Skyways 163. Good evening, Shark 1 Delta with you, flight level 330.
Shark 1 Delta London, Roger, redirect Tobed. Shark 1 Delta London, Roger, redirect Tobed.
Tobed, Shark 1 Delta.
So I was going to stand down. You see London down below now. There's the River Thames. Good landmarks. London Eye, Gherkin, House of Parliament. And we are high altitude, so not so much the ground scenery loading in. So Heathrow should just slowly appear on our left in a little bit, just behind the clouds.
T200, correction, easy 208, 610, left heading 245.
Left 245, easy 208.
Jet 1 X-ray, turn right heading 015, cleared ILS runway 04.
Riding 015, cleared ILS 04, Jet 1 X-ray.
Easy 68 Hotel Papa, leave timber heading 310 degrees, speed 220 knots, rate of
Yeah,
X5
these
last,
spoilers aren't actually
runway 08 right.
actually.
Leave timber 310 degrees.
Nah,
speed
they don't do
220
anything.
knots.
It's the turbulence we're at the mercy of. Once we get to 11,000, we'll have a chance to slow the plane down. And then pass through 10,000 with the flaps down. Thousand to go.
London Center, FedEx. London Center, German
And
cargo.
there's Hyde Park.
German Cargo 977 London, thank you, climb now, flight level 70, no speed restriction.
Flight level 70, no speed restriction. FedEx. German cargo 977.
German Cargo 214, turn right, heading 025, no
Aircraft's
speed
kind of
restriction.
slowing down.
Say again from Stanford Cargo 214.
Lufthansa Cargo 214, turn right, heading 040 degrees, cleared ILS, runway 08 right, no speed restriction.
London 040, and no speed restriction. You clear that pressure for 08 right. Cargo 214.
Ooh.
Come Jet 56,
Very
Papa,
strong
climb
turbulence
flight
up
level
here again.
380. Jet 56 Papa, climb flight level 380.
And so what we're going to do is fly past Stansted Airport, and with the lower approach, and just loop around back in again.
Contact London 127825. 1782, come Jet 56 Papa. Right, Today 1 X-ray, runway 04, clear to land 100 degrees 8 knots.
04 clear to land, Today 1 X-ray. London Center, American 7, looking for height.
American 7, climb flight level 330.
320, American 7, thank you. London Center, American 180 heavy, holding short of runway 8 right at Gatwick at Drawyah.
Come 180 London, hello to you via Juliet, runway 08 right, clear for takeoff, service wind 100 degrees at 6 knots, landing traffic at 7 miles.
0 right, clear for takeoff, American 180 heavy.
D58 Delta Lima, 08 right, 28 miles, descend to altitude 3,000 feet, QNH 1001.
So at this point, I'm expecting to hear a further descent from ATC shortly.
68 Hotel Papa, descend flight level 80.
Just get that, we'll turn on the landing lights, we'll turn on the logo lights,
German Cargo 977, climb
and we'll
flight
set
level
everything up
100.
for a landing, flaps down as well.
Flight level 100, Lufthansa Cargo 977.
Sorry, Lufthansa Cargo FM. Easy 2086, descend to altitude 3,000 feet, QNH 1001.
1001, descend 3000, TC 2086.
Lufthansa Cargo 977, turn right heading 075.
Right 075, Lufthansa Cargo 977.
Yeah, so 11,000 feet, holding it for a little bit. We'll get just short of a Bravo Kilo Yankee.
Ryanair 3 Tango uniform, speed 220 knots.
Speed 220 for Ryanair 3 Tango uniform.
68 Hotel Papa, turn left heading
Slow the
265.
plane down.
Left 265, easy 68 Hotel Papa.
D58 Delta Lima.
And so
left
there we go,
heading
first set of
265.
these restrictions for us.
Left 265, easy 58 Delta Lima. Lufthansa Cargo 214, clear to land, runway 08
And
right,
unfortunately,
service
because
wind
we're
100
now
degrees,
at
6 knots.
level flying,
08 right.
slowing down's a lot easier than it was during descent.
Good afternoon, with a 39 Papa Kilo inbound, IDESI passing flight level 220.
Easy 2086, turn right heading 265.
Control, good evening. KLM 901, flight level 240.
Stand by, easy 2086 London.
Thank you.
Very busy, please listen, right heading 270 degrees.
270, easy 2086 with sorry.
Is that 39 Papa Kilo London, thank you, IDESI 1 Alpha, runway 08.
IDESI 1 Alpha, runway 08 with a 39 Papa Kilo, thank you.
KLM 991 London, squawk 0165, it's a Logan 1 hotel arrival Heathrow.
Squawk 0165 and the Logan 1 hotel arrival for Heathrow for KLM 991, thank you.
68 Hotel Papa 08 right, 30 miles, descend to altitude 3000.
There we go, so now down to 220.
This is altitude 3000 feet, KH 1001, easy 60 Hotel Papa.
Ryanair 3 Tango uniform, descend flight level 70.
Down to 70 for Ryanair 3 Tango uniform.
Lufthansa Cargo 977, climb flight level 310.
That's 7,000, so we've been cleared through 10.
German
speed restriction.
170, no speed restriction, American 180 Heavy.
58 Delta Lima, turn right heading 330 degrees, reduce speed 180 knots.
Right, 330 degrees, speed 180 knots, CC 58 Delta Lima.
NM 991, descend flight level 90, be level
Right,
at
let's set this all
landboard.
up now. So, landing lights set. Time flights don't need, leg lights we do need.
7, contact Amsterdam, 123, sorry, 1,
Press the right one.
American 7, contact Maastricht, 135450, bye-bye.
Set the
13545,
brakes.
Was there 939 Papa Kilo, descend flight level 120.
7120 is a 39 at Papa Kilo.
And that
Tango uniform, leave Barkway, heading 150
is
degrees,
Stansted.
runway 04.
Oh, we don't actually set up the scenery for here. I don't think so.
Ryanair 3 Tango uniform, leave Barkway, heading 150 degrees, speed 220 knots.
150, 220 for 3 Tango uniform.
Negative, after Barkway, not
Ah.
now.
After Parkway.
Radar Control 89, 1 November Tango through 100.
So we're already at 220, heading 150. Get that ready after Parkway.
291 November Tango London, climb flight level 290.
290, easy 9, 1 November Tango.
Mach 18 Delta, descend when ready, flight level 200, be level at Tobed.
And the Ryanair 165, Sierra 1 for the stands, please.
Right, so passed through 9,000 now. So it's plane down.
Sorry, who was that? E2086, turn right heading 015.
015, is it 206? Easy 6 Hotel Papa, just to keep the speed up.
68 Hotel Papa, speed 180 knots.
Speed 180 knots, easy 6.
Again, really slows plane down.
Delta Lima, no speed restriction.
Thanks to this speed restriction we're given. The turbulence is just speeding us up.
An aircraft holding at Juliet 1, he's just crossed the stop bar. He's probably got some odd scenery. Are you happy to continue?
Yeah, we'll continue for now. We're still a bit higher, trying to catch the glide. 58 Delta Lima, we'll let you know.
58 Delta Lima, see the way right, clear to land, service wind 100 degrees, 6 knots.
Here we go.
Right, 58 Delta
Sets
Lima.
the heading 150, Bravo Kilo Yankee.
0 degrees.
Right, if the 60 degrees, easy 6 Hotel Papa.
National Control in around Delta 78 at Gatwick holding point runway 08 right, request runway entry.
Indian 738, hold Juliet 1.
Hold Juliet 1 and the 38.
Easy 2086, turn right heading 050 degrees, cleared ILS runway 08.
050, clear ILS 08, easy 206.
68 Hotel Papa, turn right heading 045, cleared ILS 08 right, descend to altitude 2,000 feet.
Right, 045, clear ILS and descend to altitude 2,000 feet, easy 6 Hotel Papa.
68 Hotel Papa, no speed restriction.
Free speed, easy 6 Hotel Papa. Skyway 163, to the light descent.
Here we go. Make the right turn.
Further descend, contact 127825.
The speed brakes. Now we've slowed down.
London 718, near from the landing runway Heathrow.
09 left.
London, thank you.
And a 3 Tango uniform, turn right heading 225.
Right to 225, 3 Tango uniform.
London Control, good evening. Lufthansa 1 Hotel.
There we go. So now we're flying parallel to the runway again. We'll be given a descent instruction, I presume, in a couple of moments.
Lufthansa 1 Hotel, London, Roger, Dane 2 Alpha, arrival Manchester.
Plane 2 Alpha, Manchester.
And once you've been given the descent, make a left-hand turn.
Uniform, turn right heading 235.
Right to 235 for 3 Tango uniform.
58 Delta Lima, contact ground 12 decimal 8.
1218, 58 Delta Lima, thank you.
68 Hotel Papa, runway 08 right, clear to land, service wind 100 degrees, 6 knots.
Goodbye, 086 Hotel Papa.
2086, runway 08, clear to land, service wind 110 degrees, 8 knots.
Good wind 08, easy 206.
And a 3 Tango uniform, descend to altitude 3,000 feet, QNH 1003.
Down to 3000, QNH1003 for Ryanair 3 Tango uniform.
291 November Tango, resume on navigation direct to Seaford, Sierra Foxtrot Delta.
Direct Seaford, 891 November Tango.
291 November Tango, what's your requested cruise level?
290.
American 180, climb flight level 290.
290 American 180 Heavy. India 738, hold position behind the next landing EasyJet A319 on short
So
final.
we'll start slowing down again.
Line up runway 08 right behind.
And now start getting ready for this final descent.
Determine after the landing aircraft line up runway behind. Hello?
Affirmative.
Okay, India November Delta 738, behind the next landing aircraft line up runway behind.
Oh boy.
Standing up runway behind India number Delta 28.
Oh, there we go. Got there in the end.
KLM 991 Heathrow 119725. 119725 for KLM 991. Thank you, bye bye. Bye bye. Shamrock 18 Delta, descend flight level 90, be level at Bovingdon.
90 level Bovingdon, Shamrock 18 Delta. With a 39 Papa Kilo request, flight level 080.
With a 39 Papa Kilo, descend flight level 90.
Flight level 90
It's not as fast descent as I would like.
Hello, Scandinavia 803, heading 220.
Because this time to slow the flaps as well. While slowing down on the descent.
803, London, Roger, redirect to Logan. Direct to Logan. Scandinavia 803.
165.
Control Tower, Scan 809, flight level 3 to Single Flight 4 for level 300, heading 215.
Okay, sorry, stand by. Scandinavian 803, disregard my last and continue present heading 200 degrees.
It's 154, the VREF at the moment.
Scandinavian 803. 200 degrees, Scandinavian 803. Scandinavian 809, redirect to Logan.
Logan, Scan 809.
Ryanair 3 Tango uniform, turn left heading 145.
145 for Ryanair 3 Tango uniform.
268 Hotel Papa, vacate left, ground 121 decimal 8.
Vacate left, ground 121, easy 68 Hotel Papa.
American 180, contact Maastricht 135450, bye bye.
Go down.
Again, frequency for American 180 Heavy.
Maastricht on 135450.
135450 for American 180 Heavy, see you.
And the gear down will increase our drag by a fair bit. So now starts our final into Stansted. Grab that as our next waypoint. So if we need to do it direct, we can easily do it. We may be given one more left turn, just on the short final. And the left turn will allow us to out the runway. I just realised you guys can't see the screen. All seems calm.
Indian 738, clear for takeoff 08 right, 100 degrees, 6 knots.
We have to take off India number Delta 78.
Ryanair 3 Tango uniform, turn left heading 070 degrees, cleared ILS runway 05.
Left heading 070, cleared ILS 04. 3 Tango uniform.
04, and there's no speed restriction.
05. Slow down down.
Uniform, there's no speed restriction.
No speed restriction for Ryanair 3 Tango uniform.
Easy 2086 unlocated.
Scandinavian 809 requesting for descent.
Scandinavian 809, descent flight level 250.
250 Scandinavian 809.
Scandinavian 809, can you maintain 300 knots on conversion, 300 knots or greater?
Your localizer, get this centered.
Easy 2086
Approach.
unlocated.
Ryanair 3 Tango uniform is established. little low, but the aircraft will take that into account.
Papa Kilo, I'll call you back, sir. You still have a long way to fly. It's downwind from runway 08.
Roger, wait to Fina, Papa Kilo.
Ryanair 3 Tango uniform, clear to land runway 04, service wind 100 degrees, 8 knots.
Cleared to land, Ryanair 3 Tango uniform. Right, so flaps down, gear down 3 greens, brakes set. Cabin crew, please proceed for landing.
Good evening, London Control. This is Cancel.
No, I don't know. Are we a bit too high?
One Hotel Star. We're inbound to
He's
Heathrow.
not started descent
Alpha
yet.
November 1229, descend flight level 9.
Gosh, getting a bit loud there, but the aircraft should now descend.
1229, descend flight level 90.
And now the glide site perfect.
Lieutenant to cargo 9177, redirect Lamso.
Direct Lamso, Lieutenant to cargo 977. London Control, this is Cancel. Anyone, how'd you read?
Yeah, firm 5, descend flight level 90.
Send 90 for South 29.
And Charlie Alpha November 1229, contact Heathrow 119725.
We'll get
Contact
and wait until it's at
3000.
3000. Sorry, at 1000.
3 resume on navigation, direct Logan.
Set up the throttle.
803 on navigation, direct Logan. That is Logan, Scandinavia 803.
So throttle disarmed. In just a second. And then disengage the autopilot and bring it into land. A little bit turbulent, but it is a headwinds, 10 knots, gusting 14.
London, good evening, Zap 833. Zap 833 London, thank you. Day 2 Alpha, arrival Manchester. Day 2 Alpha, Zap 833, thanks. Scandinavian 809, redirect Sabre.
Saying indirect, can I signal?
Sabre, Sierra Alpha,
Quite
Bravo
disconnect.
12, Romeo.
Thanks, direct Sabre, can I signal?
Indian 738, climb now, flight level 290.
290, clear to 290 in the number center 73.
Again, minor turbulence, nothing too major.
Bye-bye.
Just follow the Magenta Diamonds, so put it back a little bit on the stick.
Cargo 977, contact London 127825.
There we go.
Request lower. Lieutenant to cargo 977, call London 127825.
127-825, Lieutenant to cargo 977, thank you.
Scandinavian 809, descend flight level 160, be level at Sabre.
160 by Sabre, Scanal 825.
Scandinavian 803, descend flight level 250, be level at Logan.
We are on the glide slope, slightly above it, 3 whites, 1 red. Here we go.
30, 20.
Cuba Concord 610 London, Roger, redirect Hazel.
Still a bit of flight, but down. Rest house cut. And exit runway on the next right to turn off.
Ryanair 846 Whiskey, hello, climb now, flight level 70, no speed restriction. Lufthansa 1 Hotel Hotel, redirect Elvos.
Yeah, and it's currently about
Lufthansa 1 Hotel Hotel, redirect Elvos.
I want to get that guy's attention, scream into the microphone basically.
Thank you.
There we go.
London, good evening, Jersey G5 Hotel with you, climbing to flight level 170.
Jersey 25 Hotel London, thank you, redirect to Kidley.
Direct
kit lead, Jersey 25 Hotel.
Right.
Ryanair 846 Whiskey, climb now,
And
flight level
lights
140, no speed restriction.
Taxi lights active. APU starts.
Dead 39 Papa Kilo, descend flight level 70.
Descend flight level 070 with a 39 Papa Kilo.
Scandinavian 803 on conversion, speed 280 knots or less.
Likewise, do I tune into Stansted ground 121725?
280 knots or less. 280 or less, 803.
21 725. Good evening, Stansted grounds. Ryanair 3 Tango uniform, clear of runway, taxiing to gates.
Ryanair uniform, Stansted ground, hello, taxi to stand 22 via Papa, Juliet, and Link Bravo.
Taxi stands 22 via Papa, Juliet, and Link Bravo for Ryanair 3 Tango uniform.
Ryanair 7. Charlie Lima, request.
Supposed to get given to the Stansted Tower. They are online, according to
Lima stand 14, push and start approved.
yes. I'll zoom in.
Start approved.
It's Juliet, and Link Bravo, 22. So it'll be on the right hand side there. Again, I do love the map. Makes life so much easier when it comes to finding your way around airports. Turn off the TCAS, turn off the flight directors. Now turn off the anti-collision lights as well. Strobes stay on though until we stop. And 22 is just on our right hand side. Right turn here. They've really taken us to a gated stand. Apparently so.
Olympic 463 Stansted ground, hello, report your stand number.
And there's a door there, so obviously it's Ryanair fitted without the jet bridge. There you go, into 22. And slightly plane down. A little bit further, sorry. And stop. Plug brake set. APU active. Packs off. Is that packs? Sorry. Yes. Switch the bleeds. Engines. Power. Yeah, engines off. There we go. Taxi lights can also come off. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to London Stansted Airport. Local time is 10:30, and we have decent weather, fairly clear skies, a bit cloudy, with 18 degrees centigrade. We'll be debarking the aircraft very shortly. Cabin crew, disarm doors and cross-check. So that will be a check public address.
Olympic 463 clear to Lima Golf Tango
We'll
Sierra
then
on
turn off the
Clapton
seatbelt sign.
for Sierra departure. Squawk
And the
5255.
dome lights while I'm at it as well. Okay, engines are off, that's AP sounding. Right, seatbelt sign is off. Stays on, sorry. And we can turn off the strobe lights now as well. Red lights stay on. That's all fine.
Olympic 463 correct.
Just make sure their passengers are now aware that seatbelt sign is also off. They can start getting all their luggage. We will now call in the ground services. So menu, F sections, ground services, jetway plug, since we are technically right next to the jet bridge there. Ground power requests. Right hand side, fuel we don't need since it'll be the last flight of the day. Target passengers will be 0, everyone needs to deboard. We'll start deplaning shortly. We'll load the S-stairs on the front. Extend the S-stairs. And stairs on the rear. And open the forward cargo door. Re-entry as well, once the stairs do arrive. And then if we set that to stairs, or sorry, yeah, jetway, then we can start deplaning with all the vehicles still there. Next thing is going to be the cargo, so remove all the cargo we don't need. That means there'll be 150 left at the front. Let's load up and cart. Once that arrives, you can then start unloading. And as for passengers, I believe they've already started, haven't they? So, yes, we'll now tell PAX to do the same. Next flight boarding. People now start deboarding. All looks good. And that is that. Not a bad flight overall. I think made it a few minutes early, 60 minutes early planned. And ultimately I enjoyed that. Yeah, a few commercial jets, a few regional jets. At some point I need to add a model matching for here. It's been a good flight so far. And once again, really enjoying the PMDG. Now that I've kind of got the grounding for it, certainly it's a fun aircraft to fly, and it just gets even better the more you mess around with it. More features to know about. I do love this built-in like passenger service and ground services set up. That's all cool. We can start unloading now. And for me, it's a case of bring us all into cold and dark. So EFBs can come off. Ground power can stay on. Actually, yeah, ground power on, APU off. Two sensor switches come off. Heating can also now come off.
Squawk to 3404.
We'll turn off the radios.
Jet squawk 3404, sir.
There we go. Then all the trackers, so projects fly complete flights. Virtual are in there, finish flights. And the big one for us, PAX. So if I pop the menu up again, go to menu, end flights. So, passengers very satisfied. It's a 154 feet per minute touchdown, so almost perfect on the 150. Geez, I need to figure out again. I'll probably get the, what's it? Lord of the Landing, I think it's called, the landing number. Passengers otherwise were very happy about that. Good flight overall. We probably should have finished the chrono as well. Sure the fuel pumps are off. No lights off. Strobe lights off. Everyone will have now deboarded, so let's just reset the aircraft to its off position. So this comes to 0. This comes to 0. Just out and down to 1000. Heading 0. Speed 100. Actually, no, sorry, that's 0. And yeah, it's 100 on the speed. That goes to 0. Perfect. That one looks good. Lights we turn off. And battery off. And there we go. Full conduct. Ready to fly another day. So, yeah. At this point, I'd now be going, we'll be in the terminal, getting through security at Stansted. We'll then drive back to London, get back home, and then starting about work in the morning. So, next week, 2 more premieres, one Saturday, one Sunday. Do tune in for those ones. Both these are doing the NGXu. Otherwise, it has been a really good flight. So, for those who watched the premiere, thank you very much. Leave a like if you did enjoy it. Do subscribe as well. And I will see you in the next few weeks. Thank you very much, and goodbye.